This is 7 News, the voice of the Central West.
Tonight, raising Burrendong Dam's capacity is on the cards for the Water Minister.
Will ideas to improve air travel services take flight?
I'm Daniel Gibson. Later on this news hour, interest rates up 0.25%, but will there be another hike before Christmas? And 2 men arrested over the deadly crash that killed 2 young boys.
7 News begins now.
Good evening. Our cost of living has been dealt another blow, with the Reserve Bank of Australia confirming an interest rate rise today.
And with the festive season fast approaching, it's not the gift many of us had hoped for. Charlotte Wallen has been following this story for us. And Charlotte, what more do we know?
It's the RBA's first rate rise since June this year. Today's announcement of a 0.25% hike lifted the cash rate to 4.35%, the highest it's been since November 2011. That means for a $750,000 home loan, repayments would increase by $114 per month. And the move has left most locals reeling.
I don't know how a normal person in this day and age can afford to have a home and keep a home. It's just impossible.
It doesn't affect me particularly now, but for my family it certainly does.
As a person on a disability pension, the pension hasn't gone up, but all the costs of living have gone up. And I understand the problems of inflation, but I think there are probably more subtle ways of dealing with it.
No, it's all good for me because I haven't got a mortgage.
The rate rise means many families will be looking more closely at their household budgets ahead of the next RBA meeting on December 5.
They certainly will. Charlotte, thank you very much.
Burrendong Dam could soon have its full-time capacity raised to store an additional 489 gigalitres, or around 200,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. The state's water minister says she is seriously considering the project, which calls on using the facility's flood mitigation zone and is aimed at drought-proofing towns.
Burrendong Dam, one of the largest inland storages in the state, which feeds the Macquarie River. But during the last drought, it was reduced to a mere puddle compared to its former self. The system below also running dry.
We would have needed about 27 gigalitres of water to release from Burrendong Dam to get 1 gigalitre of water at the end of the system.
Fast forward to the flood events of last year, the dam reached in excess of 140% capacity. For almost 12 months, it hovered around the flood mitigation zone, saving communities along the river from inundation, a level which could become a full-time reality.
This is the number one thing we can do in the Macquarie Valley to make a significant difference to water supply without impacting anything else and actually still providing flood mitigation.
As part of the newly released Macquarie Castlereagh Regional Water Strategy, investigations are underway into using the flood mitigation zone to raise the dam's capacity to around 115%, adding nearly 200,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools to its storage, drought-proofing towns.
Yeah, I'm considering that very seriously. It's part of the regional water strategy. It's for consideration, so we are really looking at that option.
It could be some time, though, until the project gets off the ground, with research needed to determine exactly how the dam would react to a high rainfall event while it's already in that flood mitigation zone.
We really need to make sure that changing the operation and storing more dam consistently in the flood mitigation zone won't impact on the safety of the dams.
We've seen 2022, the entire year, the proof there that it can work. So it really should not take any more than another 12 months to show exactly how this would be managed.
Hamish Southwell, 7 News.
Barradine has become the latest town to be placed under new water restrictions. Level 1 restrictions have been introduced for the community. The Warrumbungle Shire Council says it's in response to dry conditions and increased demand on the town's water treatment plant. The rules limit when watering systems can be used. Residents are only permitted to wash cars with a bucket and rinse off with a trigger hose while it's on the lawn.
The region's flood-hit residents are being given additional help with their insurance claims. Last year's floods resulted in $246 million worth of insured damage. amounting to nearly 15,000 claims. 90% of them are now closed, with the remaining 10% tending to be larger and more complex. The Insurance Council of Australia is in the Central West to help residents go through the process.
Where people don't have flood cover, their insurers still may be encouraging them to put in a claim because they may be able to claim some damage for through other parts of their policy, like storm damage, and that will take further time to resolve and work through.
The ICA is visiting parks today, Molong tomorrow and Eugowra on Thursday.
After Bathurst's only airline took off and never returned, the hunt is now on for a solution. The Mayor is looking to put the city's eggs into Orange's basket in what could create a new travel hub.
In a space designed to be filled with noise, Bathurst's airport now sits eerily quiet. But the city's mayor has a vision which we're told could be on the horizon.
I would like to see Orange Airport enhanced and that Bathurst essentially utilised that.
It comes after both Regional Express and Fly Pelican touched the tarmac over the last few years but have since departed.
Indicates that the market is not really there from the commercial airlines' perspective.
The move could involve increasing Orange's parking, both long and short stay, with Bathurst contributions. A private or government subsidised shuttle bus connecting the two cities may also be considered.
I think it's a great idea worth investigating. While airside facilities are looking pretty good, car parking is the main thing I think we're going to start looking at in the next sort of 5 years' time.
The latest annual figures show the service had its busiest year yet, with over 91,000 passengers using the airport during the last financial year. It currently boasts regular trips to and from Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane across 3 different airlines, and Councillor Jack Evans is looking to grow that list.
Looking at extending a service offering to other regional destinations such as Newcastle or Canberra.
A push which could be backed up by a neighbour.
Just makes it easier for us to talk to airlines and say, hey, have you considered this route? We think we've got the numbers for it.
All so we can invite more people to our backyard and get away in the breeze of a plane. Ruben Spargo, 7 News.
Well, Arrowang is closer to becoming the home of a big battery. The renewable energy project off Brays Lane has been given the green light by New South Wales Planning. It will be similar to the large-scale storage systems in Victoria and South Australia, enabling more power to come from wind and solar. If French company Neoen proceeds, construction is expected to take between 12 and 16 months.
Drivers are being advised to add extra travel time to their trip with night work starting on parts of the Great Western Highway. From tomorrow, asphalting near Kirkconnell will mean the traffic flow will be interrupted. There'll be a reduced speed limit and the Sherwood Road intersection will be temporarily closed. Work will be carried out between 6 p.m. and 5 a.m. from Sunday to Friday for 6 weeks. That's if weather is permitting, and we are being told to allow an extra 5 minutes of travel time.
Hundreds of punters and racegoers have flocked to Dubbo's Turf Club for the big dance today. Fashion on the fields graced the track, showing you didn't need to be at Randwick or Flemington to have a good time.
Some 825 kilometres away from Melbourne is Dubbo's big dance. It might not be a public holiday like Victoria, but for the hundreds at Dubbo's Turf Club, it's as if it is.
Oh, we're really happy with what's happening here today. There's quite a big crowd turning up. It's probably double what we've been used to over the last few years.
At the trackside, outfits of all colours and headwear were out in force. Fashion on the fields, a crowd pleaser.
What inspired your headwear today?
Horseshoes for the racetrack.
Wonderful. Looks handmade. Did you make it yourself?
Yes, me and my mother made it.
Oh, how creative is that? Congratulations.
For others, it was a chance to focus on the betting guide.
We picked the first two, so that's good. But Sons of Burke or I think Mr. Bobcat.
I haven't bet on anything yet. I've got a few in the cup.
Look out. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
In the mounting yards, the group of jockeys gradually made their way to the starting gate. By the time they opened and the field of horses made their way round the bend and onto the home straight, the excitement erupted throughout the grandstand as they charged by the post.
He comes out and then Thunder Bird. Flying Foxy goes the lead and Flying Foxy has run from either three.
Some punters walking away with empty pockets.
No winners, no money.
Others cashed in, coming away with a smile, showing you don't have to be in Melbourne to enjoy the races with friends and family.
We're really happy. So the big dance is a good day for us all.
Hamish Southwell, 7 News.
Kirsty joins us now for a look at today's weather. And Kirsty, it looked like it was a hot day out at the track in Dubbo today. A few showers around though too.
Yeah, that's right, Maddie. Nick, hello to you both and good evening, everyone. It was a very warm day across the Central West. Temperatures sitting around the November average. Some very humid conditions this morning too, ahead of some approaching showers and storms as well as lightning that moved into the far west around midday around the likes of Lake Argellico and for Cobar. Oranges top today, 23 degrees, a mostly light breeze. It was across the slopes and plains where those winds were stronger, gusting up to about 30 kilometres an hour. Dubbo, a top of 30 degrees today. We had a few scattered afternoon showers around 3 p.m. and the same for Gilgandra. Now, that wet weather will pick up tomorrow morning. At this stage, we're expecting between 1 and 6 millimetres for the middle of the working week. I'll have that forecast coming up very soon.
OK, thanks, Kirsty. We'll see you soon.
Still to come in 7 News, could an early harvest be the cherry on top for some of the region's orchardists?
And these kids are the pick of the bunch as they help spread some much-needed cheer.
And a little later on this news hour, 2 men arrested 24 hours after a deadly crash that killed 2 young boys. Plus, Australia's relationship with China seems to be on the mend after years of trade bans and open hostility. And 1 month on, there's still no hope of a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
Welcome back. Cherry season has started early this year, tracking 2 weeks ahead of schedule due to unseasonably warm weather. A local pick your own orchard already receiving visitors says climate change could be to blame.
This bunch of dark red cherries is sweet and ready to eat. But after a season starting 2 weeks late last year, this time around it's a whole month earlier.
Unstable weather and the more conditions that we have that you can't class as normal, that it's very variable. I believe it all has something to do with climate change.
For Orange's Hillside Harvest, a difference in topography has given them an early start.
Hillside, compared to a lot of the cherry orchards in Orange, is just a little bit lower in elevation than, say, orchards at Nashdale or at the Pinnacle on the Canobolas. So therefore we have our cherry, we've got early varieties of cherries and then they ripen just that little bit before probably the rest of the districts.
And they're already a hit with the kids.
Why I like cherries so much because I like picking them and eating them, and I eat them all week.
And they get really excited about it. They stuff their mouths with cherries and stuff their buckets, and in fact one of them was so excited he stuffed his pockets with cherries.
With visitors already filling their buckets to the brim, Hillside Harvest is expecting a busy season.
The numbers are starting to build, and from here on in the weeks to come, there'll be hundreds and hundreds of people come to visit Orange and surrounds for cherry picking.
They're delicious. They're so sweet and juicy. They're fabulous. You know, I love cherries, and this year doesn't disappoint.
The season is expected to wrap up around Christmas to early January. Charlotte Wallen, 7 News.
A group of Bathurst school kids are tonight proving the future is bright. After spending some much-needed cheer among the community, they've also begun the process to renew our city's gardens.
From a jewel box of purple to the glow of gold, these rainbow shades have shone bright in the eyes of locals.
They're beautiful, always beautiful.
But as the season rolls on, so must beds of flowers, and the time has now arrived for the annuals in King's Parade to make way for new life.
Bathurst is renowned for beautiful gardens, and take my hat off to the garden people that do all the work here. They do a fantastic job.
Today, school students were tasked with capturing the last of this cheerful colour.
It just seemed a shame to sort of see the front-end loaders and the bobcats come through and just it all goes.
Tied up and we have a posy. What do you reckon?
There was plenty of help from some experts in the field.
It's pretty rough actually. We're just literally pulling them out of the ground, cutting off these roots and putting a rubber band on them.
Before these bundles of joy were boxed up as a gift for aged care centres around the city.
I have a lot of elderly people in my life, so I want to give back to the world.
Some of the residents said they don't get many visitors, and it's important that we get in and do what we can as a community.
The special deliveries were bussed across town early, leaving plenty of time to spare.
They make a thing of Melbourne Cup, of course, and the beautiful pansies and the posies that they're making will add to it.
While other students found a friend a little closer.
I want to see them have a smile on their face.
All as a new cycle of life prepares to blossom and bloom. Ruben Spargo, 7 News.
Still to come in 7 News, the Vipers strike as they edge closer to the Western Women's Rugby League finals.
And get ready to watch the Dirt Fly as drivers reach top speeds in the AMSAG Rally Series finale. Welcome back. The Western Women's Rugby League competition is heating up ahead of the final series. Vipers taking down Woodbridge in a dominant showing in orange.
Standing arm in arm before their top four clash, Vipers and Woodbridge honouring the late John Davis and Tut Keegan.
Very much, everybody. Go the bridge! Go Vipers!
Then it was time for battle. The first 10 minutes was a stalemate before Lily Baker crashed over for the game's first points.
Yeah!
Vipers would score their second soon after, Katie Baker and Jackie Lydon taking advantage of a Woodbridge error. A well-weighted kick-off after the try saw Woodbridge on the attack, immediately turning Vipers around and flipping the script, Katie Fullwood getting her side on the board. Vipers got those points right back just before half-time to lead 14-4 at the break. The hosts started the second half in similar fashion, Lily Baker crossing over for her second. Vipers were snaking their way through the Woodbridge defence, and Baker soon had her hat-trick. As the floodlights came on, Kiara Sullivan brought the curtains down on a big Vipers win.
I think that was probably one of our best games where we've maintained that intensity throughout the game. Hitting our holes, running off each other, our support plays.
I think our defence and our comms worked really well. It's something that we've been trying to improve on.
Vipers with a vicious strike in round 6, defeating Woodbridge 30 points to 4. Across the rest of the league, Mudgee edged out Goannas, while Lachlan District forfeited to Panorama. Mac Reithsnare, 7 News.
In club cricket action, rain got in the way of the Bathurst and Orange inter-district cricket competition in round 3. City Colts versus Rugby Union was the only fixture to have a result after winning the toss and batting. Rugby Union only managed 126. In reply, City Colts skipper Russell Gardner finished with an unbeaten 71 to steer his side to a first innings victory. Elsewhere, the rest of the round's matches were abandoned because of that wet weather. The AMSAG Rally Series has wrapped up its 2023 season in Oberon. Drivers from right around the state were behind the wheel for the final round of the championship.
Good wind, shake and bake. Yep. Let's have some fun.
On board with Lachlan Moore in his old man's Mitsubishi Evo 6. It was the first time Lachlan had driven his dad's beast, and he was sure to give it a nudge.
Quite a fast car compared to the old XL, but the car felt great, very strong compared to what we're normally doing.
Lachlan's livery honoured his late brother Michael with hashtag Forever22 and a blue ribbon. To make the AMSAG Rally even more special, Lachlan was named Driver of the Day.
Thanks to my dad for lending me the old Evo and bringing it back out.
The rally saw drivers hit ridiculous speeds, taking corners hard and fast and leaving others in their dust. Dean Ridge from the Central Coast in his red Mitsubishi Evo 7 finished first outright on the day. But with a third place finish, Blanny's Josh Redhead took out the 2023 AMSAG Open Rally Series. Mac Reithsnare, 7 News.
Up next in 7 News, Kirsty is back and she's got your local weather forecast. That's next.
Welcome back, everyone. A low-pressure trough is developing over parts of the state, causing showers and thunderstorms. Meanwhile, conditions are feeling humid for many. This trough will continue to deepen through Thursday, causing showers to increase for the eastern half of New South Wales, heighten the risk of severe thunderstorms and force heat to build. Some parts of the state could see temperatures as much as 10 degrees above average over the weekend. Now, at this stage, Thursday is looking like the day for some of the heaviest rainfall, with up to 15 millimetres over the Central West, but between about 25 to 30 millimetres is forecast over the next 8 days as a whole. Let's turn now to our midweek weather, and we'll feel those warm temperatures remaining in the high 20s and the low 30s tomorrow, but with those showers and storms forecast during the day as well. Another humid day with the wet weather heaviest about the mid-afternoon. Around 5 to 6 millimetres is likely across both Bathurst and Orange, with temperatures around the low to mid-30s and winds up around 30 kilometres an hour. Heavier showers arriving through Thursday, though, mainly into the afternoon. At this stage, we could see about 3 to 15 millimetres forecast. During the morning, a breezy northeasterly wind, some patchy cloud around, and we are expecting those winds to reduce in speed ahead of that chance of showers into the late afternoon. Forbes at 29 and Lithgow a top of 24 degrees. That's ahead of temperatures soaring as we track into Friday. Condobolin heading for a top of 35 degrees. Darbo 32, these maximums about 3 to 4 degrees above what we normally see throughout November. Partly cloudy, there is that chance of showers, but easing back to no more than about 1 to 3 millimetres. Storm activity is still likely during the afternoon and the evening. But temperatures are only forecast to increase into Saturday. 35 degrees in Dubbo for Orange. We're expecting maximums in the high 20s. Nice to see some upcoming rainfall, much needed across our region, but we're bracing for another uptick in our heat as well.
Yeah, plenty of heat on the way.
That's right.
Thanks, Kirsty.
And that's your local news for tonight. Thanks for watching. You can catch up on our website or, of course, 7plus.
Right now, Dan's got your national news. Enjoy your night. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock.